Hello my creative friend, Olga Sabi here, and welcome to new fluid acrylic painting tutorial. How many times have you been working on your beautiful fluid art creation and things did not go smoothly? You have been changing and maybe fixing something and maybe scraping some paint off, and you end up having a lot of paint runoffs on your table. This is exactly what happened to me with my most recent painting. I ended up having a lot of paint on my table, and what to do with this paint, how to preserve it, or how to reduce all that waste. So basically there are two things you can do. You can scoop up that paint and create a small painting like this, and this is why I always have such small panels or canvases ready handy on the side in case I have some paint leftovers. Or again, you can scoop up that paint from the table and you can preserve it in such a container as long as it has airtight lid. And this is the best strategy if you know that the colors that you have on the table, they will not create mud once they overmix in a cup. Both options work great. Personally, I prefer to create mini paintings. And this is exactly what I want to demonstrate you in this video. So let's get right to it. Let's go. I'm literally having one of those days. Like while I was putting it away, I dipped my hand in one of the corners, which I never do when I put my paintings away. So it wasn't crucial. I was able to fix it up right away, but oh my God. But anyway, I have so much paint on the canvas. I need to try to reuse as much as possible. So I think I'm just gonna literally use my hands and just pour some of that on the midi. Actually, these colors look kind of cool. Okay guys, new technique. Scoop and pour. I do like the color palette, but they are definitely a bit too overmixed and I need to create like a brighter focal point in it. This one I like. Very elegant. I like that it's not overly contrasting, but there's some nice details. Definitely colors blending pretty cool together. I'm glad I didn't use a lot of complementaries in this one. So see, sometimes you ask me, how come everything you do looks so easy? You can see this wasn't the easy one. It happens to me too. I will see you in a moment to show you how it dries and do some fine touch-ups. Okay, here's this mini dry, and I have just finished touching up the large painting, so now it's turn of this one. So overall, I think it dried really cool, or I just noticed that I got some paint stuck on it. Anyway, it dried really cool. I especially like this iridescent color and some very nice cell reaction here, almost right in the center. But overall, I'm not overly happy because there's just not enough contrast here for me, and just some of these lines, they're too weird looking, so I want to work on that. I want to add a little bit more contrast, make more striking focal point, and after that, I think I'm going to finish this piece with resin. So let's get right to it. I'm going to start with white, and I want to change this shape here. Okay, this is more interesting, and it does now kind of blend in. So next part of adding more contrast. So first I added some more highlights. Now I want to add a little bit of dark. It's a little bit of shading here. You know how in the main or the big painting there is a lot of contrast between dark section in the center? Kind of want to achieve the same in here. Okay, let's see how it dries with these little adjustments. Here it is, all done, finished. So after the touch-up, I love it definitely a lot more because with these lines and more contrast added around the center where the focal point is, it just has so much more contrast and definition and more depth with these lines going this way. I don't know, it just definitely speaks more to me this way. What do you think? And this is the big sister of this painting. So this one is what I had all the paint runoffs from. If you haven't seen the process, and for this one, I highly recommend you check it out. It's very interesting, it's very challenging, but it's all about overcoming those challenges. The link is gonna be right here, and I will also include it in the description below. And by the way, this beauty is available for purchase on my website, so check it out. Also, if you are new to touching up your painting or maybe changing some part, enhancing it, modifying your composition with the brush work and just with additions on top of the dry acrylic pour painting, I highly recommend you to practice on such small pieces first. Because you definitely need to get used to this concept, and once you figure this out, then you can move on and start modifying and enhancing bigger pieces like this. I hope you really enjoyed this quite an unconventional tutorial today with all the tips and insights of how I minimize waste and use up all the paint drips and runoffs. Let me know, how do you like the outcome? How do you like this video? I would love to hear from you, and I will chat with you in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you in the next video. It's going to be out on Saturday. It's going to be big and beautiful and something really special. So see you there. Take care, create with passion. Until the next time. Bye-bye.